Hi everybody, this is Adriel again from Profit from Property. Today I'll be doing an analysis on Lumina Grand, a brand new EC over at Bukit Batok West. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my previous analysis, 𝗟𝗆𝗃. I understand a lot of y'all have certain feedback that y'all want me to touch a little bit more in terms of the pricing as well as the floor plans. So what I will do today is this analysis will focus a little bit more on that, but I will still give you all key information about Lumina Grand. I think most importantly is to see whether the numbers make sense and my recommendation for the unit types in Lumina Grand. Okay, so here's a snapshot on EC. Many of you have recently came across articles that says that EC has profited quite a bit in recent times. But why is this so? So right now what I want to do is to share with you the main reason why EC has profited almost double sometimes when it reaches MOP. Okay, so we just look at the price gap between a new EC and a new private property from year 2009 all the way to 2024. Okay, so you can see from here 2009, the price of a new private property is almost double that of a new EC. Fast forward to today, 2024, the pricing is also almost double. Example, in 2024, the average new EC price is about $1,004 per square foot, but an average new development will cost you about $2,500 per square foot. That's almost 100% increase. So take note, for new EC, it's priced half of the price of a new private development. This is in the overall market. But when you move to the resale market, what happens? This is where it gets interesting. From year 2009, the resale EC and a resale private, the price gap is only about 30%, $300 per square foot difference. And when you move forward to 2024, the price difference is also only about $300 per square foot. So what does this mean? It means that at the initial stage, when you buy a new EC, the price is almost half of that of a new private. But when it hits the resale market, the price gap between the resale EC and the resale private actually narrowed quite a bit. That's why a lot of EC owners, when they resell their properties resell their EC properties in the resale market, they tend to make quite a bit of profits. Okay, but of course, having said that, it's important to understand what is currently on the market, what is been transacting on the market for new developments as well as new EC. It doesn't mean that once you purchase an EC, you'll definitely make hefty profits. So important to understand the market. If you would like to understand that a little bit more, do feel free to reach out. Okay, so here's an article that shows you homeowners for EC actually make quite a bit of profits. Okay, so what's the downside of EC? For EC, home buyers are based on mortgage servicing ratio to loan to purchase for the EC. So what does that mean? Mortgage servicing ratio, it means that the bank only recognize 30% of the combined purchaser's income to qualify for the purchase for the EC. Okay, let me break it down for you. Example, if a husband aged 38 earns $8,000 monthly income, wife aged 36 earns $7,000 monthly income, total combined income is at $15,000 per month. Okay, so how does MSR works? It means that the banks will only recognize 30% of this $15,000 for the client to qualify for the loan. It means that their maximum mortgage installment for the EC purchase is $4,500. That is 30% of $15,000. And also based on their average age, they can loan up to 27 years tenure. Okay, so with that to say, the bank would take this amount, their average age, and work out the max EC loan that they're able to purchase, and it would be at $843,000 at a period of 27 years. That's the maximum loan that they can take to purchase an EC. So example, if they're purchasing an EC at about 1.4, 1.5 million, the down payment required will be about $400,000 to $500,000. Okay, but if they are looking at buying a private property instead, then the banks will work on something called total debt servicing ratio. So what do we mean by total debt servicing ratio? The banks take into account all their debts, obligation, work it out backwards, and take a 55% recognizable income on their gross monthly income and work out the loan for their private purchase. So meaning to say, this time around, if you're talking about a private purchase, right, it will be 55% of $15,000. That will be $8,250, where the banks would be recognizing this amount as their maximum monthly mortgage installment. but also at the same time, they need to deduct away the car loan of $750 and their debt obligations of credit card. Let's say, example, if they're 5 in total. In that case, based on their age and based on their income, they can loan up to 1.35 million for a tenure of 27 years. Okay, so this is for private property. You can see the stark difference between a private property and a EC purchase. So EC purchase, of course, is a little bit more stringent. The loan is usually lesser than what you can get if you were to purchase a private property. Okay, which also comes back to this portion. Also, remember the earlier slides I was explaining why EC owners make quite a bit of profit is because once they hit the resale market, do take note, when they're selling in the resale market, the buyers that are buying their EC would be qualified by the banks for their loan based on total debt servicing ratio. Meaning to say the pool of affordability for the resale buyers for a resale EC is going to be much more. Okay, that explains why sometimes the EC also experience uptake or increase in value after it reaches MOP. Okay. Next, of course, the 5 years minimum occupation period for EC owners, they are still subjected to that. If you were to purchase an EC today, a construction period of 3 years, you can only sell the property after 5 years. So your holding period is a minimum of 8 to 10 years at least because of the 5 years MOP period. Okay, and 10 years for it to fully privatize where foreigners can purchase. Once you hit the 5-year minimum occupation period, right, you can sell in the resale market, but you can only sell to citizens and PR. To fully privatize, you need to add on another 5 years, so 10 years later, you can sell to all nationalities. Another thing of why during MOP prices start to go up, I thought this is also very interesting where I want to share with you. So if we take a look at two nearby ECs in the west, 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗃 and Rainforest, you see once they hit 5 years MOP period, right, you start to see some PR coming in to buy. Of course, it's not a lot, but you averagely about 5% of PRs are purchasing these resale ECs. So that can explain why the prices for ECs are also going up in a sense. Okay, so now without further ado, I go straight into the development, the information, the key information, and the same thing I'll touch on the site plan, but I'll focus a little bit more about the floor plans and also the pricing and my recommendation. Okay, so Lumina Grand, developed by a reputable developer, CDL. Okay, a construction firm is 𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗧. Okay, important thing I want to share with you, it's total 10 blocks. You have 2 blocks of 12-story and 8 blocks of 13-story towers. Okay, total 512 residential units. It only comes in the form of 3 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms. Okay, and then the lease is 99 years commencing from 27 December 2022. Notice of vacant possession date will be 31st March 2029. But the projected TOP date, this one I think is very interesting, Q1 2027. So meaning to say, if you were to purchase Lumina Grand now, you can expect to collect keys and move in somewhere Q1, Q2 of 2027. So that's actually pretty quick, about 3 years lead time. Okay, so you don't have to really wait too long. I think post-COVID, construction process has actually sped up. So I think that's quite good. Okay, one thing I also want to highlight is the number of parking lots. If you see here, there's only 414 parking lots serving 512 residential units. So is that going to be a problem? So later I will actually touch on that a little bit more. We have to look at where the location of Lumina Grand is at, and then we can decide. Okay. Okay, so here's the location of Lumina Grand. Lumina Grand is right here. 5 minutes drive to Bukit Gombak MRT station and Bukit Batok MRT station. 5 minutes to upcoming Tengah MRT, the Jurongregionalline. And interesting point to note is 1 kilometer to the future ACS primary. Okay, so this is a snapshot of the overview of the location. We are right here at the moment. So on the left, this portion is where is the upcoming new Tengah town. Okay, and then this side is Bukit Batok west side. Okay, later I'll show you an overview of the map. I'm not going to touch too much into the location, but I think it's important to understand what is happening nearby. Okay, and then we look at where exactly we are. We are actually located in District 23. Tengah is the new District 24, which if you all have been following what the government plans are for the area, it's very exciting. I think it's going to be the next future Punggol that's going to be happening. A lot of BTOs there. The first car-like town that the government is actually doing there. So a lot of transformation happening in Tengah area. Then of course we have Jurong. Jurong has undergone major transformation over the years. We have the Jurong Lake District, so on and so forth, the second CBD, all happening there. Okay, so Lumina Grand is actually strategically located just at the border of Tengah and Jurong. Okay, so just to share with you all a little bit more, so this is where we are. Okay, so Tengah, the forest town, almost 42,000 new residential units happening in the future. And then we have also the Jurong Innovation District. So Jurong Innovation District, I thought is very interesting, is where currently NTU is located, but you will have new R&D and new factories, new businesses happening in this area as well. Okay, and then flanked by Jurong Lake District, so this is where the second CBD is, very developed, a lot of high-rise offices all happening down there. We are all in very close proximity. Okay, so this is the master plan for what is happening over at Tengah. Okay, just to give you a little bit of overview, we are somewhere around here, just really at the border of Tengah area. So all these colors that is highlighted in beige are where the future public housing is happening. Okay, you also have private houses coming up, but this is where the 42,000 HDBs will be up in future. Okay, also take note, this is a car-free town center, meaning to say government actually incorporate a lot of public spaces, a lot of easy access to public transportation to encourage a car-like town in Tengah. That's why the developer for Lumina Grand is also creating a lesser number of car park lots to cater for that, because we are located very close to Tengah. Okay, so is that going to be an issue? Of course, potentially it might be an issue, but if you are located near Tengah, then I think it's still okay. But also an important point for you all to take note of lah. Huh? Okay, so this is the Jurong Innovation District that I was sharing with you guys about earlier on. So currently NTU is here. The research and development side, of course, we have a lot of Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, all these big manufacturing bodies all coming into that area in the future. And technology providers like Konica, Makino, Siemens, all will be setting up factories and research R&Ds all over at that area. Okay, so the Jurong Innovation District might also be, it will also help in terms of the future value of Lumina Grand as well. Okay, one thing I want to highlight is particular location of Lumina Grand. So remember I was talking about the new Tengah town where you have plenty of BTOs, but not only over at Tengah, but also over at the township of Bukit Batok. So Lumina Grand is actually surrounded by many BTOs, which I thought is a very important point I want to highlight in terms of its location. So if you see from the 1 kilometer radius to Lumina Grand, we have almost about 8,262 units of BTO that's going to MOP in 2022 to 2025. Okay, and then moving forward in 2028 to 2033, almost another 4,500 units of BTO that's going to MOP during this period. Okay, so why is this important? Okay, now I want to share with you why being surrounded by BTOs is important for an exit strategy for an EC. So just taking a look at these two ECs, one over at Punggol and one over at Pasir. Okay, so this is comparing a 3-bedroom between these two ECs. Terrace is an EC over at Punggol, the MOP not too long ago. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏 is the EC over at Pasir. So if you can see the distinct difference in terms of the profit, the profit for the Terrace 3-bedroom resale EC, the owners make as high as about 621,000. Okay, on average they make about 500,000+, so quite good profits. But when you look at the profits of 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏, you see 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏, the highest profit for the 3-bedroom is only about 402,000. And one thing I want to highlight, if you see the purchase price, the purchase price of the 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏 owner actually bought at $768 per square foot as compared to the Terrace owner bought at $825 per square foot. So the Pasir Ris EC owner bought lower, but sold lower. The Terrace owner bought higher and sold way higher. Okay, so the profit difference is quite substantial for these two. Okay, next we see the 4-bedroom difference. Okay, again for Terrace, the 4-bedroom, actually the homeowner make as high as about $788,000. You look at all the homeowners for the 4-bedrooms and Terrace, all easily about 700,000+ profits. And then if you look at 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧, when they resold in the open market, the profit of the 4-bedroom is only about $340,000. Okay, similarly for the 5-bedroom, big difference, almost $900,000 profit for the 5-bedroom, and only almost about $600,000 profit for 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧. So no matter what, the Terrace 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms all outperform 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now we look at what is the reason. Okay, 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧, if you see from 2021 to 2023, right? If you know where 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧 is, Pasir Ris is actually located in a town where it is surrounded by a lot of private residential developments. Okay, so there's no HDB, there's little HDBs around, but most importantly, there's no new HDBs in the area. So if you see from the period of 2021 to 2023, there's no new BTOs that MOP in the vicinity of 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧. But when you look at the Terrace over at Punggol, it's a different story, because Punggol is one of the newest town in Singapore, so it's always developing. There's always land for government to actually build new BTOs. So if you see in 2021 to 2023, right, there's almost 4,000 units of BTO that is MOPing in the Terrace. Okay, so why is this important? Once all these owners hit MOP after 5 years, what they will do is they will cash out their profits for their BTO and look to upgrade in the surrounding area. But most importantly, later I will touch on the affordability. Like, of course, to say that just having BTOs around the area, it means the EC will perform, is actually not true, because we want to understand how much these homeowners actually sell their BTO for once they hit 5 years, and whether they can afford to buy the EC or the resale EC in the surrounding. Okay, now I go over to the west side. Okay, we talk about Westwood and 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧. So if you see the Westwood, 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧, again, profit for 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧 is 632,000, whereas the profit for Westwood is only 469,000. Okay, similarly for the 4-bedroom, 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧 actually performed much better, 760,000 versus Westwood at only 523,000 profit. Okay, same thing, you see the trend here very clearly. For Westwood surrounding, no BTO that is MOPing in the same time as Westwood. So from 2021 to 2023, there's no new BTOs. That's coming into the resale market in Westwood. Okay, and then we look at 𝗖𝗛𝗄𝗧, very different. We have 6,116 units of BTO that actually MOP during this period in 2022 to 2023. So again, what happens is all these homeowners of this BTO, once they hit the 5-year mark, they resell in the open market, and then they take the profits and then they upgrade to the surrounding projects. Okay. Later, which I will then, from this portion, I will talk a little bit more in terms of the affordability for Lumina Grand and the surrounding. Okay, but I think this is important info for you to take note first. That's why I wanted to highlight the location. I think this is important. Okay, next we look at the track record of CDL, and we should not go too deep into that, but of course CDL, potentially the largest developer in Singapore. So track record, I think nothing to worry about. Okay, total unit mix, just to have a quick look, we have a total 512 units. 3-bedroom, we have 104, 3-bedroom premium 202, 4-bedroom 155, and the 5-bedroom 51. Okay, so the estimated maintenance fee is right here, share value is right here. Okay, I won't go too in-depth into this. Now we want to look at the site map. Two types of facing, northeast facing and southwest facing. Okay, this is an overview on the site map here. So this site would be facing northeast facing. Okay, this side would be southwest facing. The northeast facing over here would be facing the HDBs here. This southwest facing will also be facing towards the HDB here. Okay, so later I will show you a more zoomed out version of this site map. Facilities wise, pretty straightforward, full condo facilities. We have a tennis court here, gym, pool, so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay, so right now we go straight into the floor plan. We start with the smallest size unit in Lumina Grand. That would be the 936 square feet, the smallest 3-bedroom type A1 layout. Okay, so this 3-bedroom layout doesn't comes with a WC, helper's toilet, and there's no yard. Okay, located at stack 9, 32, 36, and 40. Okay, all those that are highlighted in pink over at the site plan. So stack 9 would be here. Okay, stack 32 here, 36 here, and 40 here. Okay, so if you realize that this small 3-bedroom, both sides located at the circumference of the project, both sides are all facing either towards the HDB. Okay, just that of course, those on 40, 36, and 32 would be slightly closer to the HDB opposite. This is only about 20 meters away. Okay, but the one over at stack 9 would be slightly further away in terms of the facing towards the opposite HDB because the roads here are wider. So this is about 60 meters away to the opposite HDB. Of course, pro and con, this side would be small roads into the HDB cluster. So in terms of noise level, it would definitely be less noisier. This one, heavier road, so it would be noisier. Also take note, this side, stack 9 would be facing towards southwest. All the ones that are facing towards the HDB on top would be northeast facing. So take note that those facing downwards would get a little bit of angled afternoon sun. Okay, next we take a look at A2. Same format, there's no WC and yard. Okay, stack 10, 14, 31, and 35. Okay, size exactly the same, so 936 square feet, but of course there's a little bit difference in terms of the layout. Okay, so stack 10 right here, 14, okay, 31 and 35. Okay, same thing, the facing is also the same, HDB on both sides. Okay, then we look at the comparison between the two layouts, where the difference is. The A1 layout, if we see the kitchen is actually in a portrait format. Okay, meaning it's in a longer format. Only kitchen cabinets on one side right here. So it's an L-shaped kitchen cabinet on one side. The DB and storage is actually along the living room wall. Bathrooms are side by side. Master bedroom size is 11.9 square meters. Okay, but when we go to the other layout, kitchen is actually in a horizontal format. Okay, kitchen cabinets on both sides. Size for the kitchen slightly smaller, 8.3 square meters, but your storage space are on both sides, and also the kitchen is wider. Okay, home shelter is also nicely tucked away at the back. Okay, living room size 22.9 square meters, slightly smaller, but the master bedroom is larger at 12.3 square meters. Okay, bathroom too, it's separated away from the master bath. So this is the difference in terms of the layout between the two units. Facing wise, not much of a difference like I shared earlier. Okay, next up we go to the bigger 3-bedroom unit, the 969 square feet. So this one comes with the yard and WC, stack 1 and stack 4. Okay, so stack 1 right here, stack 4 right here. Okay, so stack 4 facing, according to my experience, it should be one of the more premium facing. So why do I say so? If you see stack 4 is actually facing towards southeast, but if you see what is it looking at, it's actually looking at the facilities of the future another future development, 𝗟𝗪𝗏. You can see this is at the clubhouse, the small little children's pool and all that. So if you are going for a mid-floor unit, like say example 5 to 6 floor, you will already have a very good buffer distance from stack 4 all the way to the opposite block of 𝗟𝗪𝗏. Okay, so the distance between the privacy that you get is definitely much more than most of the other units that you are going to have in Lumina Grand. Okay, so there's a potential that the developer might price this unit slightly higher. Okay, similarly for stack 1, stack 1 is also facing here. Of course, if you go for the lower floor one, just take note that the entrance to the development is right here. But of course, if you are going for a mid-floor unit, again, your distance to the opposite, wherever you're seeing the opposite is actually much further. So there is a potential, again, that the developer might also price this higher. Okay. Also, even though it's southwest facing, the afternoon sun would be blocked by the block beside block 5. So you don't get any direct afternoon sun from here. Okay, so only 2 stacks, stack 1 and stack 4. This layout is very interesting. It is a dumbbell 3-bedroom layout. Okay, so what do I mean by dumbbell 3-bedroom layout? You have bedroom 3 on one side. The home shelter is actually not located in the kitchen, but is located on beside bedroom 3. Okay, so dumbbell layout, when you enter the unit, bedroom 3 on one side and the 2 bedrooms on the other side, your living and dining is right in the middle. Okay, kitchen is flush towards the left. Okay, so this is what we mean by a dumbbell layout. Okay, it comes with the, see the difference? It comes with the WC and also a yard with a window here. Okay, so this is the 3-bedroom premium, 969 square feet, located in stack 1 and stack 4. Next up, also 969 square feet, but it's A4P layout. We have stack 3, 6, 19, 27, and 39. Okay, so let me zoom in for you. Okay, stack 3. Okay, and then we have stack 6. Then we have stack 19, and then 27, and 39 right here. Okay, all the ones in beige. Okay, again, stack 3 would definitely be, in my opinion, of the highest price, because you are overseeing the facilities of 𝗟𝗪𝗏, so there will not be any blockage. Tennis court of 𝗟𝗪𝗏. So you can see the distance to opposite is actually very far away if you are going for a mid-floor to a higher floor unit. Okay, so definitely this should be one of the most premium in terms of the per square foot pricing. Okay, other than that, in terms of the facing, similarly, northeast, southwest facing. Distance between each blocks later I will touch a little bit more, but from here to here it's about 20 meters lah. Okay. Okay, next A5P, size similar, 969 square feet, stack 5, 13, 29, 33, and 37. So we have stack 5 right here, stack 13 right here, stack 29 right here, 33, and 37. So again, similarly, either northeast or southwest facing. Next up, I will touch on the difference between the floor plan between the 3969 square feet layouts. Okay. Okay, so this is the difference. First one, we have the dumbbell design. Okay, this is the dumbbell design where there are only 2 stacks here. Okay, squarish kitchen with 2 separated cabinets, so cabinets each on one side. Okay, additional yard and WC in kitchen as compared to the smaller 936 square feet layout. And then the home shelter here, it's near the dining area. This layout, I'm not too keen on this layout because dumbbell layout, I mean, this dumbbell layout, it's a bit non-traditional. So if you compare to the other 2 layouts, if you see from here, okay, they have all the 3 bedrooms tucked into one side. But the only thing that I have concern about the dumbbell layout is, of course, the home shelter also. The home shelter is not tucked away over at the kitchen. So if you have a family who is a bit more traditional, like if they have a helper, they want the helper to be in the kitchen area or whatever, this dumbbell layout might not be so ideal. Okay, so if you're talking about a safer layout, a more proven layout for a 3-bedroom, is definitely this one and this one, where you see most of the developments, the other 3 bedrooms traditionally have this layout. Okay, now we look at the difference between, let me see, sorry, this is A4P, this is A5P. Okay, so we look at the difference between the A4 Premium and the A5 Premium. Okay, so the foyer is smaller than A5 Premium. So if you can see, right, foyer area is right here. Okay, but for A5P, the foyer area is much wider. So the feeling when you have is different. When you enter A5P, straight away you feel the openness. But for A4P, a bit more narrower. Okay, straight away when you enter, you will see your DB box and your tall cabinet here, and it's closer to you. Okay. Home shelter tucked at the back. Kitchen is 10 square meters with 2 separated cabinets on both sides. So here and here. Okay, and then the WC is tucked away at the back. Kitchen for the A5P is smaller, 8.9 square meters. Of course, you also have kitchen cabinets on both sides as well, here and here. Okay, size-wise for the living and dining A5P, it's bigger, 24.2, also because of the foyer space right here. Okay, other than that, the room size are all similar, 9 square meter, 9 square meter, and 12.3 square meter. Only difference is in the kitchen and the living and dining. So A5P has a smaller kitchen, but again, of course, functional with cabinets on both sides. But the space from the kitchen, it's incorporated into the living area. Whereas A4P kitchen, it's bigger. It's more like there's a L shape. It's almost like an L-shaped layout for the kitchen, but a smaller living and dining. Okay, next we have 980 square feet. So this is the largest 3-bedroom premium. Okay, 4 stacks, stack 2, stack 30, 34, and 38. So let's see where are they now. Okay, so stack 2 here, stack 30 here, and then we have 34 right here, and 38 right here. Okay. And then the layout for the 980 square feet, if you can see, kitchen is very different. Kitchen is almost like also like a L-shaped format, but it's much bigger. Cabinets on both sides. So your cooker hob is here, your sink is here, fridge is here with storage here, and your yard is here. WC right at the back, and your home shelter is here. There is no difference in the room sizes. Only difference is, of course, living, dining, longer and bigger. Kitchen also bigger than the 969 square feet. Okay. Okay, next up we go to the 4-bedroom, 1141 square feet, stack 23 here, only located 1 stack here, 23. Okay, 1141 square feet. It's a portrait layout. Similarly to the 3-bedroom, the foyer, you have a foyer space here. Living and dining is in a portrait format. Kitchen is right here. Home shelter tucked away at the back. 4 bedrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we have 1152 square feet, stack 8, 20, 24, and 28. Okay, so stack 8, again, it will be the most premium in my opinion. If you look at the facing again, that's something I mentioned. Of course, if you go for a higher floor, you will clear the clubhouse in front, and then you get to see a totally unblocked view all the way to the multi-story car park of the next HDB over at the northeastern side. Okay, then we have stack 20 as well right here, and then 24 right here, pool facing, and then we also have 28 here. Okay, 1152 square feet. Later, I will share the difference between the 1152 and the 1141 square feet in terms of the floor plan difference. Okay, here it is, 1141 and 1152 square feet. The foyer is different. So what do I mean the foyer is different? If you see the 1141 square feet foyer is actually shorter. Okay, why is that? Why is the foyer shorter? Because of the bathroom 2 right here. So if you see bathroom 2 for 1152 square feet is actually tucked in between the 2 common room here. Okay, therefore your foyer space is slightly longer. Okay, and the kitchen is also right here. Okay, whereas for the 1141 square feet, kitchen is tucked away in a horizontal format right at the back. Okay, so in terms of space usage, the 1141 square feet definitely has a slight advantage in terms of the space usage. Okay, and the bathroom and the bedroom 4 is nicely tucked away on one side. Okay, other than that, room sizes almost similar. 12.9 square meter for the master, 9 square meters for the bedroom. Living room also not much diff. Kitchen also not much diff in terms of the sizing. It's just the overall layout and feel of the 1141 and the 1152 square feet. Okay, 1141 also have a slightly longer entrance foyer as compared to the 1152 square feet. Okay, next up we have the 1259 square feet. Okay, this is the largest 4-bedroom. We have stack 15, 18, 22, and 26. Okay, so stack 15 here, 18 here, 22, and 26. Okay, this time round, layout very different. The kitchen, the living, when you enter, you have a dry kitchen here, and the living and dining is in a in a landscape format, meaning to say that you have a wider frontage. The balcony is in a more rectangular layout. Okay. And then 1270 square feet, stack 17, 21, and 25. Okay, so stack 17, stack 21 here, and 25. Okay, so all these would have the main pool facing. Okay, the largest 4-bedroom will have the main pool facing. So of course, if you realize what the developer strategy is right here, usually for the larger floor plates, the larger unit types, where it will cost the most, the developer tend to give those units a slightly better facing. So it's either facing the pool, or you have an unblocked view, or whatnot. Okay, so in this case, the 1270 square feet all faces the main pool. Okay, so the difference between 1259 and 1270, I won't touch too much on this, but basically, main difference is only in the kitchen. So kitchen here is an L shape, okay, and then here it's cabinets on both sides. Okay, of course the living and dining is bigger for the 1270 square feet, but other than that, room sizes all similar. Okay, last but not least, we have for the 5-bed, okay, stack 7 and 11. So stack 7 and 11. Okay, 1496 square feet, so 5 bedrooms. Okay, I won't touch too much into that as well, but you have a junior master here. Okay, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom here. Huge master, walk-in wardrobe. Okay, again also dry kitchen, and the home shelter is tucked away on the back. Similar to the smaller 4-bedroom, the master, it's all comes with a walk-in wardrobe. So wardrobes on both sides here. Okay, last layout we have 12 and 16. This is the C2 1496 square feet layout. Okay, similarly dry kitchen, okay, wet kitchen, L-shaped kitchen, bedroom 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course you have a junior ensuite. Okay, so with that, I've covered the floor plans for what is available in Lumina Grand. We have the 3-bedroom premium, the 4-bedroom, and the 5-bedroom. Okay, my top choice I would definitely go for is the 1141 and the 1152 square feet series. Okay, the estimated pricing for Lumina Grand, we should fall in a range of about 1450 on average to $1,500 per square foot. Okay, based on what has been transacting around the area, based on the developer's cost price, so on and so forth. So the 1141 square feet and the 1152 square feet, if we're looking at a 1450 to $1,005 per square foot, price range, we should be expecting it to be about 1.65 to 1.75 million onwards. Okay, so between 1141 and 1152 square feet, of course the 1141 square feet has a slight advantage, but there's only one stack. So remember I was sharing with you all earlier on, if we go back to the floor plan of 1141 and 1152 square feet, a bit more functional in terms of a layout, where the foyer it's shorter, and the way they lay out the entire 1141 square feet, it just feels much more practical in a sense. Okay, so for the 1152 square feet, a bit more space is wasted into the foyer. Okay, also if we look at the facing of the 1141 square feet, okay, not a lot of big difference comparing the 1141 and the 1152 square feet, where unless you are going for stack 28, then of course there's going to be a big difference. But other than that, if you're talking about the other stacks like 20 and 24, similarly, you are also facing the opposite blocks. So that's not to say that the 1151 square feet has a major advantage in terms of the facing over the 1141 square feet. Okay, unless we have to see, of course, the pricing for stack 8 when it's launched. If the price gap for this unit as compared to the rest of the 1152 and 1141 square feet, the loading in terms of the price margin is not huge, it's something that we can definitely consider. Okay, so this one, of course, I can advise you all at a later stage, once the price is more firm. Okay, so now back to my top choice. Okay, so why we want to look at the 1141 and 1152 square feet as compared to the larger 4-bedroom of 1259 and 1270. That's because 1141 and 1152, the only difference is, of course, the layout, portrait layout versus the landscape layout of 1259 and 1270. But I think the important thing here is that all 4 bedrooms are of equal size between the 1141 and the 1152. Okay, meaning to say that the 1141, 1152, unlike some of the other ECs out there, where you have a smaller 4-bed and a bigger 4-bed. So what do we mean by that is usually they will give you 1 bedroom that is of a smaller size. So recently, I've sold an EC in Sembawang, where there are 2 types of layout for the 4-bedroom. Okay, so let me just show you the difference in the layout first. So this one is the smaller 4-bedroom layout. So I want to focus your attention on bedroom 4 here. If you see bedroom 4 here tucked away at the back, the bedroom here, it's smaller as compared to bedroom 2 and bedroom 3. Okay, so this is the smaller 4-bedroom where they actually sacrifice one of the bedroom to be of the smallest size. Okay, and then there is also another 4-bedroom, which is the larger floor plate, about 1,300 plus square feet. This time around, if you see the bedroom 4 tucked away at the back, bedroom 4 actually is the similar size of bedroom 2 and bedroom 3. All the bedrooms can fit in queen size bed. Okay, so while I was selling these 2 units, the one that sold the fastest was the largest 4-bedroom, which is 1,003 plus square feet, where they have all the 4 bedrooms of similar size. Okay, and the smaller 4-bedroom of 1141 square feet actually took a longer time to sell. And of course, if you look at the profit for the larger 4-bedroom, the homeowners for the larger 4-bedroom actually profited more than the smaller 4-bedroom. Okay, which, going back to this, now if we look at the floor plan for the 1141 and 1152 square feet, right, you see all the room sizes are 9 square meter. Okay, comparing it to the 1259 and 1270 square feet, all the room sizes for the bigger 4-bedroom is also 9 square meters. So it's not like to say the 1141 and the 1152 square feet, the room size is much smaller, where you can only put in a single bed as compared to the bigger 4. Okay, so this is one of the key points that I want to highlight to you all also. The only thing is, of course, the layout is different. One landscape, one portrait. But other than that, the 4 bedrooms are all of similar size. And we also want to focus on one thing. We want to focus on the affordability of the 1141 and the 1152 as compared to the 1259 and 1270 square feet layout. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If we look at the price quantum, for the larger 4-bedroom, okay, we are talking about almost 1.8 million upwards for the 4-bedroom. Okay, so for the 4-bedroom, 1.8 million upwards versus a 1.6 plus million for the smaller 4-bed. One thing we also want to consider is, of course, definitely the layout for the larger 4-bed is better. It's going to be more comfortable. It's going to be more spacious. But we want to understand the risk factor in future when we do decide to sell once we hit MOP, or maybe if you're holding on the property for another 7 to 10 years and you do decide to sell in future to move to somewhere else, we must understand whether in that area people can afford to pay for the property that we bought for. So this is a very important point that I always share with all the people out there. Always consider your exit strategy. Now we want to look at the future affordability. Okay, So if we look at the surrounding BTO 4 to 5 room BTO prices near Lumina Grand, we can see that they are all buying the price here on average right here. Okay, and then this is the resale prices on average for a 4 and 5 room BTO. Okay, so we look at Tengah and Bukit Batok. Okay, and then if we look at the resale prices around the area, if you look at Bukit Batok resale HDB prices, those that are sold not last year in 2023, you can see that they are all transacting at an average of about 600,000+ for a 4 room HDB. Okay, so why is this information important? If we calculate the affordability of all these potential HDB owners, once they hit MOP, they sell at 600,000+, they cash out their profit and they upgrade to the nearby private properties. Are they able to afford the quantum that we are looking to sell at? Okay, so now this is a very important point. An average price 4 room bought at 280,000. Okay, they sell at $680,000 after MOP. Example, they take back about $400,000 profit, plus let's say they have used about $150,000 CPF, they'll take back. Total, they have about $650,000 worth of funds. Okay, so now, important thing, $650,000 worth of fund. If they were to buy a private property in the area, let's say at about 1.9 million, okay, the total down payment that is needed, if we count a 25% down payment on 1.9 million, plus the stamp duties that is needed, total funds that is needed, $539,600. Okay, so important thing, we want to look at affordability here. Okay, so this $539,600, it means to say they can actually purchase up to 1.9 million with the funds that they have. In fact, they still got spare, because you see 400, 650, they only require 539,600. Okay, now we look at the 5 room resale prices. Okay, this is all resale at about 800,000+. Okay, all done last year, 2023. So at an average price of purchase at 385, average selling price of 805, the estimated proceeds that they will take back 420. Let's say this time round a bit more because it's a 5 room, they will use a bit more CPF. Total take back about 620,000. To buy a 2.2 million property, the down payment that is required, 25% plus the stamp duty, 629,600. They have a total funds of about 620k from the sale of their 5 room. So meaning to say that they just need to top up another 9,600 to buy a 2.2 million property. Okay, if we are talking about, now we want to look at the affordability at 2.2 million. If the 4-bedroom of Lumina Grand is at 1.65, and if you're selling it at 2 million, 2.1 million, we need to understand whether the homeowners in the area can afford to pay this price. And if you can see from here, they can comfortably pay for the down payment and the stamp duty after selling off their HDB. Okay. Similarly, for this one, if we're looking at the 3-bedroom, it's more than comfortable for them after selling their 4-room HDB. Definitely, they are able to afford. Okay, and the average pricing for the 3-bedroom at Lumina Grand we're looking at is about 1.45 million based on $1,450 to $1,500 per square foot. Okay, so that is where we want to make sure that, this is important, because we don't want to buy somewhere where, the HDB prices cannot match the affordability of the EC prices in future. Okay, that's why I'm actually recommending the smaller 4-bedroom, because if you're going for the larger 4-bedroom at 1.8 million upwards, to sell at 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 million, this might be a potential something that the future HDB owners might find that it is a little bit high in terms of the pricing to pay in future. Okay, so affordability, we want to focus that a little bit more on that. It's very important. Okay, for the 3-bedroom, of course the 3-bedroom is good, but definitely look at the 3-bedroom plus yard plus WC over the 936 square feet. So remember, if I go back to the floor plan here, for the 3-bedroom, my top choice would be the 969 and the 980 square feet. the 936 square feet would be the last choice will be the 936. So go for the 969 or the 980 square feet. Okay, so why 969 over 936? It's because if we look at this example, this is also another EC over at Park Life. So I just sort out all the 3 bedrooms and we look at the profitability from the highest profit to the lowest 3 bedroom profit, right? One thing you will see, it's the 1109 square feet, the 1044 square feet. Majority is the 1109 and the 1044 and the 1066 square feet. Okay, the 1001 square feet is the 3 bedroom without the WC and without the yard. Okay, the rest of the 1109, 1044, 1066 are the 3 bedroom with the yard and the WC. So you can see here, it's a very clear trend that those 3 bedroom with yard and the WC all make much, usually in terms of the top performers, in terms of the profitability for the 3 bedrooms, are all these larger 3 bedroom. Okay, so going back to Lumina Grand, 969 versus 936 versus 980. Again, you see the size difference is not going to be a very big difference. So therefore, if you're talking about similar facing, the quantum wise is not going to be that much of a difference. So definitely go for the larger 3 bedroom if you can. Okay. Okay, then if we look at 969 square feet, again, that's what I was mentioning earlier. I will try not to touch the dumbbell layout because that one is not so traditional. I will go for the safer layouts of the 969 square feet. Okay, I will go for A5P. A5P would be my recommendation, which is this one. If you're talking about the 969 square feet, due to its layout. Once you enter in, you feel that the entire living space is very comfortable, it's very open. Okay, unless you have a very good facing for A4P, then of course it's something that you can also look at. But other than that, facing difference is not going to be very big. Price difference is also not going to be very big. Okay, then A4P, of course, what we can look at if you're looking at this layout of A4P here, stack 3, keep an eye on this stack. So we want to see how much the developer is actually pricing this unit. Of course, if price gap is 50 to 60,000 away from those other facing like 33 or 37, which is facing the pool, definitely stack 3 is something that you all can consider and also take a close watch on. But again, all these are all about pricing. Okay, so it really depends on how much the developers are pricing on the launch day itself. Okay, but usually based on my experience, it's like this. So yeah, so just take a close lookout on this. Okay, so with that, I've covered the analysis of Lumina Grand. Okay, if you need any more information or whatever, just feel free to reach out to me. Okay, I hope I give you all a comprehensive layout analysis on the layout and of course the pricing and the exit strategy. But if you need anything else, just feel free to get in touch. Okay, take care. Bye.